Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to discuss about the Oracle database architectures. Okay, so I'm going to explaining these architectures actually. Okay, so before going to that architectures, so I just like explaining something about like basics level. Okay, so basics level means so how the applications are running, so why we need to learn the DBA session. I mean, why they needed in a company, why need for the DBA. So those kind of questions you have already, right? So I will explaining these all the parts so you can get some clarity on that. Okay, so just example, now I am going to explain how the applications are running. Okay, so first you can understand these things, the basic things. Okay, so we can consider take example of any banking sector. Okay, so see this I just draw here. Okay, so let's draw some box here. Okay, so and then we can make like this, can make like this. Sorry for my diagram. Okay, so you just consider this is the front end. Okay, this is the front end. Better I can text like this. Front end. Okay, so this is front end, this is back end. Okay, this is front end and back end. Okay, so where is your applications are running? So all applications are running in the front end, right? So all the applications are running front end, but all the data stored, all the, if example you just consider this is the bank. Okay, so if it is a bank means, so all the customers details are stored in the our databases. Okay, so this is the database, you just consider this is the database. Okay, so this is the applications, I mean front end applications. Okay, so this this is the architecture actually. Okay, the basics architecture. So this is the front end, this is the back end. So whatever the users are going to retrieve the data from the front end, so there's some process going to get the data from the back end, I mean the database, and given to the users. Okay, for example, you are planning to check your banking transactions or your balance, you want to check. So in that operations in going in the front end, right? So what, whenever you are login, so all the authentications, everything is done by the front end. So it will going to validate by the some process to the backend. Okay, so after that this is the flow, actual basics flow. So now I'm coming to the point now. So this is the DB, right? So someone's to hand over this handle the DB. So whoever is learning the database, I mean to say like whatever Oracle, Postgres, MS SQL, it is up to your choice. Okay, so I'm right now I'm going to explain the Oracle database. Okay, so I mean to say the database, whoever is learning the database, so those people can handle the DB. So for example, the database size is cubes, right? Like 1 DB, 2 DB, 100 DB. So it's based on that like environment. Okay, so this is the simple thing. So whenever the users want some data in the front end applications, these all data stored in the backend. Okay, so now I am going to tell the architectures of the Oracle database. Okay, so why I needed, so every application have the databases. So whoever is know the databases, so that people can maintain the database. Okay, so because they know well how the database is working, so that's why they're hiring for the DBA. Okay, so now I'm going to the point. So today we are going to learn about the Oracle database architectures overview. Okay, so the next slide. So not only you guys, so me also getting some doubt whenever I am starting my career as a DBA. So I have some lot of doubts why we need to learn these courses. So why DBA is required. So I hope you believe like previously I just explained in Paint, right? So there is some databases hosted in all the environment. Okay, so like a bank, healthcare, insurance, so all the environment. So every environment have one DBA, okay, to maintain our databases. Okay, so that's why they're hiring for the DBA. So it's a DBA means database administrator. So it's not only for the Oracle DB. So in real time, you can support any database like Oracle, Postgres, MS SQL, and MySQL. There is a lot of databases there. Okay. So based on your knowledge, you can going to apply the jobs. You can get the job. Okay. So now I am going to explaining the Oracle database administrator. Okay. So what is Oracle database? So Oracle database is nothing but there is a two components. Okay. So before I'm going to from here, so I just explain easily you guys. Okay. So you can understand easily. You just consider this is my PC. Okay. So this is my PC. So my PC have the RAM. Okay. So you know RAM, right? Read access memory. So my PC have the RAM and my PC have the hard disk. Okay. So what is the purpose of RAM? What is the purpose of hard disk? So the RAM will be helping. So for example, see this. If example I can open here. Okay. If example I need to go to that folder, so I just do the double click. But in the back end, what happened? The RAM is storing some data. I mean to say like they need some cache. I mean to say they need some space to function the operations, right? So the internally. So that is called RAM. And then so the all the our data is located in our hard disk. Okay. So I mean to say simply I am telling you, see here, I just drop roughly. So you just consider this is my PC. Okay. So this is my RAM. Okay. This is my hard disk. Just consider, sorry for my diagram. Okay. So this is RAM. This is hard disk. Okay. So this is RAM. This is hard disk. So whatever you are need any data, so all the data is located in the hard disk, right? So this is a RAM means it will be temporary files. I mean to say the temporarily they need some operations of the space. So in that time the OS will be utilized these spaces. Okay. So if users need any data, first is going to read the RAM and then it going to read the hard disk and get it from the hard disk and given to the RAM and RAM given to the users. Okay. This is the simple process of the computer. Okay. So if maybe the RAM is going to fill, so what happened? The PC is absolutely get slow, right? So same thing. So I'm going to explain in the Oracle. Okay. So easily you can just listen here. So the RAM is nothing but you just consider the term of here instance. Okay. So in the hard disk, you just consider database. Okay. So you just consider instance is the RAM, database is the hard disk. Okay. So you can easily understand. So now I'm going to in deep drive. Okay. See my slide. So Oracle instance overview. So Oracle instance, there is a two component. Okay. So one is the memory structure and one is the background process. So what is the memory structure? What is the background process? The memory structure, there is a two we call as system global area and program global area. Okay. System global area and program global area. Okay. So and second thing is the background process. What are the background process? I will explain in the next slide. So you just understand what is instance. So instance is nothing but see this. Where is the paint? See this, the instant is nothing but there is a two component. One is uh, memory structure. Sorry. Sorry, how can I tell? Background process. Okay. Memory structure and background process. Memory structure and background process. Okay. So the memory structure, there is a two. One is SGA and PGA. Okay. So the managing database operation in memory and the interact with the physical storage. The same thing I am explaining you before. See in the paint. So whatever we are going to retrieve the data, first is going to read the RAM and it's, but it is for example, guys. It is for example. don't if maybe interviewer asking any questions, you don't say like a RAM and a hard disk. Okay, this is for example. You just use the word like instance, like memory structure and background process like a database. You can use kind of word. Okay, don't use like RAM and hard disk. This is for I'm telling you for easy understanding. Okay, so managing the database operation in the memory and interact with the physical storage. The memory is nothing but the memory, PGA, SGA they are mentioning. Okay, the memory and then databases. Okay, so in deep dive I will we will go next slide. Okay, what is the memory structure? Memory structure, there is the few components like SGA, system global area, and database buffer cache, and shared pool, and read log buffer cache, and then large pool, Java pool, streams pool. These are all optional, but this four is very very important. Okay, sorry, the three is very very important. Data buffer cache, shared pool, the read log buffer cache. Okay, and then what is the PGA? And this is a private memory access. Actually, this is a program global area. So when the users need the session, okay, so that time the PGA coming to the picture. Okay, so I will explain after the slide. I will explain how the sessions are established by the PGA. Okay, so you just understand what inside the memory structures. Okay, so these all the inside the memory structures. So memory structure means of what is our code word. Memory structure means we consider as a RAM. Okay, so this is the RAM means instance, so instance containing all the data. Okay, I mean all the data means all the components, data DB buffer cache, shared pool, read log buffer cache, and these are the options: large, Java pool, and stream pool. Okay, the PGA is the program global area. It will the private memory access, so when the users need access the session. Okay, and then these are the background process. So for example, um, if example here they are mentioning, right? So what I am going to write here, simple things I am going to write. See here, I just draw one box. Okay, so you just consider this is the memory process, this is the background process. We just write here, really sorry for my diagram, I don't know these things. Background, this is the background process. Okay, this is the background process. So you just understand here, this is the RAM. Okay, this RAM, first access to the RAM means instance. Okay, and then it will going to ask the help to the any processors. Okay, so background processor is, we have some 5 or 6 is very important processors, so that every processor have the own responsibilities. Okay, so for example, you just consider this is the RAM. The first user going to ask to the RAM. If RAM having the data, it will giving to the users. You can take it from here. If there is no data, the RAM will be found some users. I mean to say some processes to ask to that processor and get it from the disk and given to the user. The same thing here. Instance, instance having the shared pool, right? The shared pool having the I mean to say after that we have some background process, and background process to collecting the data from the databases and given to the instance and to the users. Okay, so this flow I will explaining with properly manner. Okay, so it's just example of easy understanding. So in I will next slide I will explain everything. Okay, so you just see here, these are all the background processes. What are the background processes? Database writer, log writer, checkpoint, SMON, PMON, and archiver process. These are all the important background processes. Okay. So DB writer, when modified the blocks to the data file, so in that time the data DBWr will be coming to the picture. So when the read log entry is going to the read log, so the read log buffer cache to read log, so that time log writer will be willing to come into the picture. Okay, and checkpoints, it will occur when there is some rules that when commit statements, so that time the signals checkpoints. Okay, so what is SMON? SMON is a crash recovery. Okay, so for example any instance will be crash, it may be down, so when it's going to start again the instance, so in that time SMON will be roll back all the transactions. So in that time SMON will be coming to the picture to open the I mean to say it will make uh, start the instance to help us to the crash recovery. Okay, the PMONs clean up the failed process. For example, there is some any idle sessions or there is no any inactive sessions, so in that time PMON will be killing that all these sessions. Okay, so archiver process, when the data is going to redo log file to archive, so in that time archiver will be process will be help to us. Okay, so these all the data files. Data file is nothing but, see here, so data file is nothing but these all the what I'm saying before, these all the our business data, right? These all our database, I mean to say hard disk. Okay, so inside the hard disk, so in database terms like data file, control file, read log files, so they are calling as a files, means physical files. Okay, so because these are physical files, we all the data stored in the database, right? So this is the basic things from this slide. Okay, so data files is stored our actual data. Read log files means if we change any changes in our tables, so all the data is recorded by the read log files. The control file is very important, because control files they called as is our heart of the database, because all the informations about the when database is started, when database is down, so what are the backup informations, where is the data file, where is the read log files, so all the informations will be stored in the control file. Okay, if maybe the control file is we don't have the control file, I mean the control file someone is removed, so the DB will be not able to do function properly. Okay, so now I'm going to show our one second, I will showing our architectures now. See this, where is the this is the pen. Okay, okay, great. See this, this is the instance. Okay, so what I'm saying before, Oracle database architecture, wait a minute, Oracle database architecture, so there is a two, one is the instance and one is a database. Okay, so what we consider before, this is the RAM, this is the hard disk. Okay, so RAM inside, sorry, the instance containing the SGA, okay, and PGA. Okay, there is SGA and PGA. So SGA, when it's coming to the picture, when the users need a session, so the PGA will be giving to the session to the user to access our database. Okay, so this is our shared pool. Okay, so shared pools containing our all recently running execution, all the things. So DB buffer cache and read log buffer cache. Okay, so DB buffer cache is nothing but, so to like if maybe we did any update statement, so the all the datas, old datas and new datas will be kept in the our read log buffer cache. So once user is commit, so the read log buffer cache, that old, I mean new data is moving to the database, I mean data files. Okay, so the data files coming to here with help of DBWr, I mean the database writer. Okay, so if you want clear cut, one second, if you want clear cut, I will explaining you. This is the proper way, I think so. One second. Yes, see this. So this is the proper architecture, so you can understand easily. That's why I'm taking this architecture. Okay, so first you can understand what I'm saying before. Okay, so what is a database? Oracle database, there is a instance and then database. Okay, there is a two important word, instance and database. Clear? And second things, what containing the instance, there is a two, one is a memory structure and another one is a background process. Clear my point? So what is the memory structure? Memory structure is containing the two components, one is SGA and another one is PGA. Okay, so SGA, when users need a session, the PGA will be established sessions of the users. Okay, the PGA, the SGA is containing the shared pool and then database buffer cache and read log buffer cache. These are the options: large pool, Java pool and streams pool. Clear my point? So the background process, SMON and PMON and DBWR and log writer and checkpoints and others like archive process, those are the processes. Okay, so inside the database we have the files like control files, data files, read log files and archive log files. Okay, so now I am going to explaining the example. This is the when PGA is help to us, when users need the access, I mean when the users need to access our databases, so the PGA will be giving to a session to the users. Okay, and then after that only the users able to access our database. Okay, so the flow, I think I already explained on video, so how the select statements working in our Oracle architecture. So I just upload I mean not upload, I mean posted the link as well, so in that session, so you can get it more on that. Okay, and then this is our summary. So this is I am going to explaining you Oracle instance. I tell you already, there is a two memory and background process. The physical database means the data, I mean data files, scheduler files, control files. So instance process, queries, managing memories and read write, so these all we explained already, right? So if you want, you can command your our session, so you have any doubts. So if maybe you have any concept you want to know, so you can update me, so I will post it on that in our next slide. Okay, so the final agenda is you just understand these architectures in this video. Okay, so again I am telling the finally, what is Oracle database? Oracle database having the two important components, like one is instance and one is the databases. Okay, so the instance containing the memory structure and background process. Okay, so that memory structure means there is two, SGA and PGA, system global area and program global area. Okay, so the system global area having some processes, I mean to say inside the processes, shared pool, data buffer cache and develop buffer cache. So these all the explanations. Okay, so these all the explanations, so I am going to update the next video, I mean to say in next video I'm going to upload what happen if user is doing the update statements. Okay, so why I'm telling that things, if user is going to update statement, so all the processes to coming to the pictures. Okay, so you just understand clearly what happened after the update statements, so really it will help to you. Okay, so that's why I'm planning for the next video to help you the update statements, how it's flow everything. Okay, so that's it guys, so this is my final thought for that. So you have any doubt, so you want to have any queries, you can update in our session. Okay, I mean to say update in our command sessions. Okay, so thank you for the time, so thank you for watching guys. Okay, bye.